Welcome to another edition of the Joe Dorgan Show. I have two guests today. My co-hosts from the music show Stepping Out. I want to say hello to Hector C. and Beaux Vigil. How are you guys doing today?
Man, I'm doing great.
Didn't I just see you guys?
Just like a little while ago. Yeah, didn't we just record another episode?
We sure did, and I'm delayed as fuck.
That gives us a chance to cut you off if we need to, man.
That would be a first.
Yeah, who knows what the hell you're going to be talking about.
I'm just gonna fucking sign. That's what I'm gonna do.
What I mean.
Godzilla. So we do a show on Mixcloud. It's called Stepping Out, and we record the show. We've been doing it how long, guys?
Oh, crap. I'm supposed to know how long we've been doing this?
It was before COVID.
It was definitely before COVID.
With me on board, it's been 2 years.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this wasn't a quiz, but I just wanted to. We've been together 2 years, and we started recording at Hector's house, and now Beau has moved to Lubbock, but now we're doing it via Zoom, which is great that you're still on the show.
Now we're doing it all online.
Well,
I was pretty happy that we were able to do that.
Oh man, we wouldn't roll without you, man. So, in case people don't know, Stepping Out was this show back in the late 80s, and it was on a station called KXCR, which was a jazz station. I wasn't the originator of Stepping Out, but I'm carrying the torch with these two guys. So it was on KXCR that I get a phone call one night, and there's this guy. He sounds like he's in a closet, and it's Cesar Flores. And he was just trying to be quiet. He didn't want his wife to know, you know. Anyway, he called in, and so we became friends. And then he came on the show, and this was '89. This was before Club 101. Everybody thinks Club 101 started in the '80s. I get people saying, "Oh man, hey bro, I went to 101 in '84." No, you didn't. It was 1989, December 30th. Yeah, it's crazy. So Cesar and I did
liars.
So Cesar and I did the show for about 8 years, and then it went away, and then it was on Hero Radio, but then as people disappear, whatever. So Cesar reached out to me, I don't know, like 3 years ago or so, and said, "Hey, I want to do the pilot show. We want to put it on Mixcloud," and
yeah,
we did a pilot episode, and we've all been friends, and Cesar said, "Hey, I want to bring Beau on. Do you?" I'm like, "No, man, that guy's a musical," because Beau knows a lot of music. And I've had compliments from girls like, "Man, that guy's got a great voice." And then
yeah, well, they say I got the face for radio.
So you might remember Beau from the Headstand. This guy, man, you go in and he recommended a lot of music to a lot of people. You were just as important. The Headstand was just as important as Club 101. You shaped our musical tastes and got us to buy a lot of shit. I'd like to
think that I contributed to some musical delinquency. Yeah.
Yeah. And then
it was always a good time.
So we were doing the show with Cesar, and of course there is an episode. I don't know if people know this, but we recorded on a Monday. We were recording at Cesar's house, and then, of course, he passed away on Thursday, on the following Thursday. But so there's an episode on the computer. But we were kind of just like, we were really devastated that we had lost our friend, and what do we do next? And, we thought, well, what would Cesar think? And he would say, probably the show must go on, and you got to continue. And what did you say, Beau? You were like,
well, I knew that for Cesar, it was all about the music. It was all about sharing the music. It was about living. And I don't remember specifically what I said, but I do remember thinking that wanted it to continue. He would have wanted the show to keep going on and for us to share the music and the love. Kind of carry on his legacy.
We were in a jam. We wanted to carry on the show, and so we wanted to find a producer. So did we find Hector on MySpace or Fans Only? Where did we find Hector?
I think it was Tinder.
Maybe.
Maybe. He says maybe.
So we got together. So Hector, you're in several bands, or well, you have a tribute band, right? You have other projects work.
Yes, I'm in a 333 Pantera tribute, and I'm in a cover band named Texas Roadkill. I had a band called Here After the Wave, but we're pretty much just non-functional. And yeah, I do some solo guitar instrumental music as well.
Some. The man is prolific.
He's busy. So we got together, and
Yeah.
I guess I don't know if Beau, your background. I think we all liked rock music, but I kind of, went towards the alternative scene, and so here's this guy that we were friends with, but he was a metal guy. I know a little concern with like how we're going to do this show. I'm only saying this because there was a great story, because I know when he shocked us one time, he had this really great block. I mean, he does a good. I'm not talking about expose. I'm talking about but Hector, you were telling us that you had some friends that were metal people that didn't like that allow you to like alternative music or something like that. What was the story on that one?
When I was younger, all the metalheads were all about metal, and if you, for any reason, were into anything that was light or even remotely like a hard rock, you're a poser. So, me liking like Van Halen, The Cure, was just unacceptable.
Even Van Halen.
Or yeah, it was real strange. I mean, because metalheads. I guess when we were all young back in the day, it was just like you have to like Slayer and only Slayer, and it was really annoying because I was in love with the guitar first and foremost, and then I did grow up with Van Halen as a kid. I was listening to Van Halen, I think, when I was like 2, and going into school and then kicking back with a bunch of metalheads like, oh, what do you like? And I'd be like, Van Halen, Joe Satriani, Steve Vai. It's like, who are those fags? I'm like, what the hell? What's wrong with them? Like, they're badass guitarists, And they just didn't get it. But if you look now into the future and you were to see those dudes now, they probably like understand where I was coming from now, especially with the advancement in technique, playing, virtuosity. So it was kind of a weird time, but I didn't care. I would I'd close my door, and if The Cure came out with Fascination Street on a local radio station, I'd be excited, and or U2. U2 is another band that was like, no, you can't like U2. It's like, what the hell? Why not? So I don't know. I just, whatever got my ear. But more than anything, I am a metalhead. But first and foremost, I'm a musician. So and then being a sound tech, definitely you have to. Well, I mean, you don't have to, but in my opinion, you would have to be flexible if you want a job.
How about you, Beau? Like, did you have a similar situation, or do you liked everything? Or?
I think it was probably when I was like 12, 13 years old when I discovered alternative music or new wave, or punk rock and stuff like that. And the majority of the people that I knew kind of leaned that way. And that's kind of what we were all listening to. So we were always sharing new stuff with each other. We'd meet up at the malls. Yeah, we went to the mall. We were mall rats. And we'd all hit the record stores and then meet up to somewhere, you know, in a common area and show off what we had bought and all the new vinyl that we had picked up. So I think that for the most part, I didn't really get a lot of that. There were maybe a few times when somebody was a fan of, you know, one artist or another that they might have gotten a little bit of shit for it.
Yeah, for me, I was, you know, in high school, I liked the Stones and certain groups. But, you know, I heard K-Rock and then The Cure, Depeche Mode. And then, you know, we have a rock station here that was just playing the Scorpions and Zeppelin over and over. So me and my friends, we just like, oh God, all this butt rock, and we made fun of it. We kind of like, you know, but later on, I went to see Van Halen with Sammy Hagar and David Lee Roth, and then they were like, okay, well the night before it was in Phoenix, we're gonna go see the Scorpions. I'm like, no, I can't let my friends know I'm gonna go. It wasn't so long ago, and then I saw them in concert, and I had a huge appreciation for them because, you know, it's not their fault they were overplayed, you know. So I like it all too. But yeah, it was interesting when Hector said that on the show, you know, because one might assume that all you like is metal, but you're a musician, so you like it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Hector's got great taste.
I try. Like we had some country bands stop by and do some shows over at the Rock House, and doing sound for bands like that is otherworldly because the sound is so easy to attain, and it's so clear, and you know, you can hear lyrics, you can hear every note being played,
which you don't want to.
It's like CD quality stuff that you're listening to. But,
yeah, like, here I am passing judgment.
I'm pretty open to, you know, whatever gets my ear, because I mean, there's, you know, being Hispanic, because I'm not like full bred Mexican. I am not into Mexican music necessarily. It's very rare that I'll throw on a song that I'm like, damn, this song is killer, and you know, I'm not really drawn to like the cultural aspect of, you know, where we're from, but
right.
It still boils down to what sounds good in my ear, and I go with that.
Beaux, tell us how you got to the Headstand, because if you don't know what the Headstand is, one of the remaining locally owned record stores in El Paso, Texas. It's an institution, you know. You would want to see Beaux there. You wanted to see Stan there, and so how did you get that gig working at the Headstand? And tell us some stories.
Okay, well, I started going to the Headstand again in like my late teens, and at the time we lived about, I don't know, a block and a half away from the place, so I was there pretty frequently. I had worked retail before, doing like mall jobs. I worked at like those trendy places like Chess King, if you can remember those. And
there goes your street cred.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, man, Chess King and merry-go-round, that was the place. But so I had a little bit of retail experience, and I kept going into the Headstand, and I think I just never thought about applying until one day, just on a whim, I said, you know what, I'm going to give this a try. I figured I wouldn't get the job because there were about a bazillion people in El Paso who wanted to work there.
Oh yeah,
I mean that was kind of the place to be, and so I got lucky. And Stan took a chance with me, hired me on, and actually he hired me on like a lot of retail jobs. You get hired on as seasonal work or part-time. And next thing I know, 12 years had gone by. And
I was 12 years. Wow.
Yeah, it was about 12 years.
Did you have any say-so in what music was put in the store, or was it just a collaboration?
Yes. Yeah, well, it was definitely a collaboration. Everybody had kind of their specialty as far as, the kind of music that they were familiar with and had more knowledge about. For instance, I don't know if any of you remember Lupe Amador. She was there for longer than I was before she passed away. And she knew her metal. She knew lots about all kinds of music, but she was the person that if you were listening to metal at the time, regardless of what type of metal it was, she was the one that you wanted to go to the expert, and she was the one that you went to. And so, everybody that worked there kind of had their niche, and it was really neat though, because everybody contributed something to the store, not just as far as the music that we carried, but also the other merchandise. We always had T-shirts and pins and patches, and that place is just a rock and roll superstore.
A place to go. I mean, you could get flyers, and Club 101 was a ticket outlet there, so I was there a lot, picking up tickets or dropping off tickets, and of course other places.
Yeah, I saw you every time. It was always good to see you. Yeah, you brought those flyers in. You brought us the tickets to sell, and and it gave me a great opportunity to go and enjoy the shows. I kind of had my hand on the pulse of what was happening thanks to what you were doing. It was an awesome experience, and seeing what you were doing was just fantastic.
So any crazy stories of the headstand that you've never told or don't want to tell?
I've got some crackhead stories that I probably should probably save for some other time, because we did.
You were very popular. Would sell. We joke with you. We were like, you had Beau's hose, but we say that jokingly because you were very popular. Right. People wanted to come see you. And so you also DJ'd. So I know you DJ'd. What was that Industry? You did stuff at Lost Iguana.
That was at the what was it? The Oriental Palace, right?
Oh, that's right.
And yeah, it was Oriental Palace, and we did a night there called The Factory. Yeah. Which a name we ripped off from Europe, from England, from Factory Records, and. Yeah, Kelly Allen and myself were DJing a night there every week, and we were doing the 80s, the alternative stuff, the new wave stuff, so a little bit of punk and some psychobilly, rockabilly, whatever we could find that was worth toe tapping.
Okay, Hector. So do you have any recollection or any good stories about 101, going to 101, or because. You didn't get kicked out of there, did you? Did you play?
No, actually, I've played there, yeah. Actually, I've played there. Well, the first time I ever went to 101, I went with a friend of mine, and it was so packed that we circled the floor while everybody was dancing on the floor, and I bumped into my cousin who I hadn't seen in a couple of years. And then we made it outside. And then I was like, I'm thirsty. And he's like, dude, you know that we have to go all the way around again to go get a fucking drink, right? And I'm like, oh. And I was like, so can...
Oh, go
what
ahead.
was that? No, and so like I was like, well, so what do we do? Do the... can somebody like bring us drinks? Like, he's all, no, we have to go to the bar. I was like, man, this sucks. And I was like, and we're stuck outside now. So we were stuck outside. And then finally, we left. And I was just kind of like, I didn't even get to dance. Like, we just walked around, got sweaty, and I didn't get to dance. And then, so, some years passed, and I was in a punk band called Blacklist, and we played at 101 with 420 Flip. We played at E9, opening up for the Misfits.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we played we even did Area 51, and we did a bunch of I'm not gonna remember. I think the Casualties, and then I forget the punk band that has the big colored hair.
I know who you're talking about.
And and we opened up. We did a bunch of shows actually, and so.
But that Misfits show was.
We had a pretty good run with. Oh my God, was that insane?
Flyer for that?
And that was the second time.
Yeah, but
No, you know what? I never was the flyer guy. Like I never kept my flyers.
Damn.
I'm sure our drummer Ian has those, but that was the second time I actually opened up for the Misfits. The first time was with Catastrophe when I was Porno Boy, and that was a huge one also. We did Switchblade Symphony, Kevorkian, Death Cycle, Society 1. We did quite a few shows there. So yeah, it was I had my share of playing shows at your place.
That's right.
It was always great.
That Switchblade Symphony and Catastrophe, we were dabbling with the dark wave. That was way back before now. I mean, dark wave's gotten bigger now these days, but yeah, that was a great show. So you have I need to go. Beau and I both need to go see you do the Slayer tribute because I hear that's nuts. You guys, Pantera. I'm sorry,
Pantera tribute.
Pantera. I don't even know if there's a Slayer.
I hate to be a hater, but I would never do a Slayer tribute.
Okay, well.
I just can't. There's no way I'm gonna learn those guitar solos. They're just too wacky. But yeah, there are some Slayer tributes. We had one just recently.
You know, I'm at the Rock House every Wednesday doing the Dark Wave, and there's that huge your banner. I'm like, man, I got to see that show. When's the next one?
Yeah. The next one, let's see, I think December 9th. It's a Thursday because we're going to go 10th and 11th to Phoenix and Tucson. So that'll be our kickoff show just to do those two out of town dates.
Are you thinking about taking that on the road like further or just kind of regionally? It's too hard for you to do.
We've been trying to go out, spread out and do other states. But I swear to God, I swear to you that Texas doesn't want to share us with anybody. Every time they hear that we're gonna, start playing, it's like, come back to Corpus, come to McAllen, come here, come there. And it's like, well, I mean, we want, there's no way we can, ignore Texas, but we would like to hit California, for sure. That's one of the places that we're definitely looking at, but pretty much anywhere that they'll have us is what we're looking at. And pre-pandemic, there was a dude that was gonna be flying us out to shows, and he was only gonna fly the band. We couldn't go with the crew we usually have because he had specific places that we were gonna play. So it was only gonna be the four of us, and that was gonna be a hell of a run. But that hit, and that just went out the door.
Are you working on original music? So, do you have any time because you're doing sound for a lot of shows at the Rock House?
I do have time. I just honestly, I've been focusing on my personal life, and then just making money doing what I love, which is it's my second love apparently, which is live sound. I've been doing audio since I was in middle school. I would mess around with anything that could record anything, and that's how I started. But that's basically what I'm focusing on. There's a show coming up with Nita Strauss, who's Alice Cooper's guitarist, and she's the first woman to actually have an Ibanez endorsement, and she's coming to Rock House November 15th, I believe. So I'm trying to gather up my heathens so that I could do my instrumental stuff. And if I'm correct, that's what her show's going to be, all instrumentals. So it's basically, live shred guitar.
Wow. And Beau, he's talking about a personal life. What are you up to these days? You're in Lubbock, enjoying life. Are you retired? What?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I mean, I moved back to Lubbock here in June, and I'm just kind of hanging out, spending time with my family, hanging out with the cat. I do a lot of housework, and I look forward to days when we record the podcast, because I'm like, all right, I got something to do today.
Yeah.
You're in Lubbock. I've only been to Lubbock once, and it was just a changeover in flights. But
right.
At a time, there was a lot of music going on. I think you were telling us, of course, we're in a crazy time, and hopefully it gets back to normal. But I'm hoping that you get to see some shows out there, and you let us know about some bands and stuff.
Oddly, for its size and for its reputation, Lubbock is a big arts supporting city. They really support the arts. We get a lot of live music shows. We get a lot of Broadway stuff. There's several venues here in town, and you'll get all kinds of things from all kinds of genres. There's always something to do, actually. And yeah, COVID has kind of put a damper on things, but Lubbock's one of those towns where they're like, hey, we're going to open up. So a lot of things are scheduled to come here. Joan Jett played here last month.
Wow. Because a long time ago, I managed the comic strip, and so comedians would come from Lubbock, and there was always joking about how flat Lubbock was. But I've never, there's no mountains, but what do people in Lubbock say about El Paso? They hate it, like it? Don't sugarcoat it.
They hate it. They hate it.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, when I talk to people and I tell them where I've been for the last several years, and they go, oh, El Paso.
Oh,
the
armpit of Texas. I've heard that one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's surprising. I've actually met people who don't know that El Paso is in Texas.
Yeah.
And what I think is really funny is that being here in Lubbock, people here are real big on calling this West Texas.
Yeah.
This is West Texas. This is West Texas. And I like to point out a map to them. I go, you see this map? That ain't West Texas. You see El Paso? That's West. That's Texas.
Yeah.
That's West Texas.
Yeah.
You can't get more West Texas than El Paso.
Are there a lot of El Pasoans in Lubbock? I mean,
there are.
Okay. So you need a Chico's Taco shirt to need a headstand shirt.
Well, you get, I'll tell you what, I worked at the university here at Texas Tech for several years. And speaking of El Paso, I was working at a job where you greeted the people coming onto the campus, and you kind of worked this sort of information guard booth thing at the entrance of campus. And I had this couple pull up, and I was asking them where they needed to go, if they needed a parking permit, stuff like that. And they looked right at me and they go, "Aren't you the guy from the headstand?" And I had been away from the headstand for years, and so El Paso's a very tight-knit community, and so you kind of, they recognize each other, and you see the Chico's Taco shirts, and you see the bumper stickers, El Paso proud, and it's
so you represent. That's good.
Well, yeah, I try to. I've
too?
grown fond of El Paso. I know I've grown fond of El Paso. I'm not going to lie. When I was younger, I was down on that city so bad. I just did not care for it. But as time goes by, and I've got family there, I've got really good friends there. You guys, I miss you guys every day. But I've learned to really love El Paso, and I do miss it when I'm not there, which is why I went back this weekend, right? We had a good time.
Yep.
That's right. We were hanging out at the living room. We took some pictures together. We had some slumosas.
Some slumosas?
That's an actual band, but I don't know where we got that, where we call drinks slumosas, right?
I think the night that we played that band...
I couldn't pronounce it.
I'm blaming Hector. I'm going to blame Hector.
My fault. It's my fault.
So, I really want to thank you guys for being on the show today. We do this show. It's on Mixcloud for people to find out. We have Facebook, Instagram. And we're thinking about a Facebook, a MySpace page again. No, or TikTok.
I'm telling you, man. Bring back Tom. Bring back Tom. We're going on MySpace.
The top 10, yeah. Is there anything you guys want to leave us? You guys want to throw me under the bus? Any stories you want to tell, or one last thought, or?
I'll tell you on a personal note, I got a lot of things to thank you for, Joe. A lot of things. The music, obviously. The things that you did and are doing constantly to, give people an opportunity to hear new stuff, and the wonderful stuff that you do with playing the old stuff, which makes me very happy. But 101, I have a lot of incredible memories about that place, and you were definitely the driving force behind that for sure. But you also got me laid a lot.
Excellent. I'm happy to hear that.
You're the perfect wingman.
He is. He really is. Hey, I know the DJ.
It's so much fun to do music with you guys. And Beaux, thank you. That was really nice. I'm always trying to push the envelope for new music, but we just recorded 2 shows, and your music taste, and it's so important that we don't forget the music that we grew up on. I mean, what's that group that you pull out these songs and I'm like, man, I haven't. Euroglider, all these groups that I'm like, I forgot about, and these one-hit wonders, or even the big ones, So thank you, and Hector. What do we say about Hector? Love the guy, man.
Nothing.
He keeps us on his toe. We never know what to expect.
That's true, man. Yeah, that's true, man.
We get off the rails every show. Oh my God, he's going to take it somewhere else. It's so much fun.
That's why I was put on this earth. That's why I was put on this earth to push boundaries, think a little bit more, make you think a little bit more, to make you realize how much of an individual you were. That's why I'm here.
And you were sporting a KISS shirt. Was that a big influence in your life? I guess like all of us.
Yeah, that was another huge influence in my life. I was probably about the same age listening to Destroyer, and I loved God of Thunder. And then when I saw KISS on PBS, they were talking. It was 321 Contact. They were showing what they go through to make their shows possible. And as soon as I saw Ace Frehley smash his guitar, I was like, "Where's mine?" I was like, 2 or 3 years old. I went and grabbed my acoustic, and I slammed it against my couch. And I was like, I'm gonna get in trouble.
Oh no!
That's how you do it. That's how you do it. So yeah, like
2 or 3 years old.
No. Yeah, dude. Yeah, well, I've been playing guitar since I was 2. And that was the guitar. That was the guitar I started off on. My little Tom or whatever it is from Juarez. And they influenced. It's weird. It was just it's weird. It was just one clip that I saw, but it lasted in my mind forever. I mean, I still remember seeing that and just how much of an impact it made on me. What I eventually was going to become on stage. I'm not only a musician, a composer, a sound tech, but I'm also a performer. I'm about expressing myself physically as I'm performing songs. So that extends to every band that I've ever been in and I'm still in. So it's a part of me to be a performer and to entertain and make people enjoy wanting to be at a show.
Well, thank you so much for that, and you're gonna have to let us know. We have to have you guys come back on, because you have a show coming up in November. And where can people find you? You guys all have Facebook and Instagram, right?
Yes.
I mean, I know that answer.
Yeah. Yeah. My Facebook is private, so it doesn't matter. Nobody's going to want to see that shite anyway. And my Instagram is London_Gray_Vigil. That's me. Not that anybody cares. I think I've posted twice on Instagram.
Okay, and then we have a Facebook for Stepping Out, and we have an Instagram, and you can always message there, and it'll get to these guys.
Right.
You can get past me. I mean, I think Tammy looks at all that.
Are we still doing the website? Do we still have a website?
We have a website called 101steppingout.com, but I was trying to do websites, and I screwed it up. So I directed the link to our Mixcloud site. So that's why today I didn't say check out our website. It just left it.
Oh, okay.
You were looking at me like, why didn't he say that?
I thought it had just slipped. I just figured, okay, that's no problem. We'll move on. It's all good.
Yeah, but our show, is on Mixcloud. I think it's mixcloud.com/steppingout. And you can sign up, and it'll automatically let you know when our shows are coming out. We're now trying to get them out once a week. I mean, thank you, Hector, because, Beau and I, we show up, we throw we voice our voices, we do our voice tracks, and then Hector does all the magic.
He does all the work. We're just the pretty faces.
Yeah. Yep. He does all the work. That's what she says. Yeah.
I like to.
Well, again, I want to thank.
Ain't nothing wrong with doing all the work, man.
No, but really, we just take off, and I want to thank you for doing that. And we've got show number 225 coming out this Friday, hopefully, or this week.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna push for Friday. Yeah, gonna work on that right now, actually.
Okay, well, man, you guys are like brothers, and I really appreciate it. So you can't break up with me, and I can't wait to record again next week with you guys. Thanks for
don't worry, bro. I'm gonna stalk you. So
right, Joe. Where are you, Joe? I love you, Joe.
I love you guys, man.
Love you too, man.
All right. Take care.
All right, man. Thank you for having us.
Bye-bye.